Dreaming of cracking the UPSC Civil Services examination? Unsure about where to start or how to navigate the challenging path to success? Vision IAS Delhi's GS Foundation Course 2026 is here to provide the right direction, support, and resources to transform your dream into reality. This holistic course is designed to prepare you for every aspect of the UPSC CSE, Prelims, Mains, and interview. Here's what makes this course a game changer. Complete syllabus coverage from GS Prelims to Mains, CSAT, Ethics, Essay, and Current Affairs. We leave no stone unturned. Top-notch faculty learn from Delhi's most experienced mentors who have guided countless toppers. Personalized mentorship, tailored feedback, and performance assessments to help you constantly improve. Exclusive current affairs preparation. Master the dynamic part of the syllabus with PT 365 and Mains 365 sessions. This course isn't just about preparation, it's about building the confidence and strategy you need to excel. Batches starting for 2026, 2027 and 2028. Karol Bagh, 17th December, 9 a.m. 29th November, 5 p.m. GTB Nagar, 13th December, 6 p.m. 23rd December, 8 a.m. Your journey to UPSC success starts with Vision IAS.
Good evening, everyone. So my name is Rajesh Govindraj. I'm faculty of Geography and Environment here in Vision IAS. So in this session, we'll be discussing mainly about how to manage the time, work, as well as UPSC preparation parallelly. So this is specifically for those who are working professionals who have a regular job and who are preparing parallelly accordingly. Okay. So I assume you guys are working. Yes. Yes. So you're working. Okay. Okay. Up. No. Okay. Fine. So this is mainly about the time management. Okay. So how exactly we are going to the manage the time and prepare smartly. Particularly, UPSC is considered to be the one of the toughest exams, not only in India, in across the world. It is said. So, if I just give you one simple statistics about this, you would understand this. Okay, so the success rate for this exam is just 0.1%. 0.1%, and this is decreasing every year. Okay, so it is assumed that nearly 10 lakh students would apply every year. So of course, in that only 50-60% would appear for prelims. Okay, so that is that itself is a so the first stage of elimination, because not everyone would be able to go through this tiresome process of preparation and have that so the confidence to appear even for the examination. So there only many fail. So then comes the prelim stage, then main stage, then interview stage. Finally, if you see, like on an average, only 1,000 students would get selected, right? So out of 10 lakh, 1,000 students is just 0.1%. And in that also, like you must have heard about many different stories, and now it has become pretty famous with some of the web series and some of the movies coming on UPSC preparation, and so that has made it little bit more popular, can say, the UPSC examination, civil services examination. So in this context, if you are a working professional, so it is going to be much more hectic, to manage the work, manage the preparation parallelly. So how to go about that? So that is the overall idea of this session. Okay. So let me take two examples from our last year appeared and cleared aspirants. Okay, so who were working professionals. Okay, so you must all be knowing about the rank number 2, Animesh Pradhan. Okay, so it was his first attempt, and he was working and he prepared parallelly. And you must have heard about his personal story. It was one of the toughest for him, so having so many personal issues. Okay, so in spite of that, he was able to manage. He was able to sail through that. Okay, so now he scored rank 2, right? And also the rank number 6. Okay, so the rank number 6 was she was also Srishti Dabas. Okay, so she was also a working professional. She was working in RBI. Okay, so and parallelly she managed the preparation and she was able to clear finally with one of the highest marks. Okay, rank number 6, of course. So like this, every year you hear about these stories. Okay, so in fact, with every subsequent year, we are hearing more such stories. Okay, so if you go back in time, like 20 years, 25 years of preparation, like you talk to any of this IAS officers of older generation. Okay, so they would say like UPSC preparation is like you have to leave everything. Okay, you have to leave your personal life. Okay, so professional life, social life. Okay, so lock yourself in a room, prepare continuously, study continuously, 12 hours a day. Okay, so then you will clear this exam. That is how even they would believe even now. Okay, so those days are gone. Those days are really gone. The UPSC preparation process has become so dynamic and so changing over a period of time. It is not necessary that you have to so compromise everything and sit and study for like 12 hours a day continuously throughout the year. Tabhi hoga. ओके तो ऐसा तो सिचुएशन नहीं है. ये अलग बात है कि करने के बाद में भी नहीं होगा, भी चांसेस है ना. So in such dynamic scenario, so being a working professional, so how to get through this? Okay, so we have so many such examples. So yeah, so we'll start that. So the strategy for the working professionals. But before that, let me just give you a brief introduction to this examination. So I assume many of you who are watching this video, okay, so are the first timers or working professionals who want to get into this journey and want to start this journey. So for those, let me just give you a brief introduction to this examination. Then we'll come to the strategy for you guys. So let's start with the basic idea of this examination. So whoever is preparing for this examination, they have to go through this 3 questions. Okay, so what is this exam? Why do you want to prepare for this exam? The question of why. And how do you want to prepare? How you have to prepare for this exam. Okay, so these 3 basic questions. So first is what. So the name of the examination you must have heard is the Civil Services. Okay, so it is Civil Services examination conducted by the Union Public Service Commission, right? CSE, Civil Services Examination. So for what purpose they conduct this examination? So in the government we have 3 branches, the 3 branches of government. Okay, so that is executive, legislature, and judiciary. So these 3 organs will together run the government. That is the idea, right? So judiciary is the one which checks the violation of law and will punish those who violates the law. Okay, legislature are those who make the laws. Okay, so how the country should be run, how the country should be administered. So that basic laws are made by the legislature. Okay, the laws are made here. The laws, whoever is violating them, whoever is whatever the kind of punishment that should be given, that will be done. That will be checked here. And who will implement the laws? They are the executives. Okay, so in case of executives, we have 2 group of executives. One is permanent executives, another one is temporary executives. We all know about that. The temporary executives are those who get elected through elections, right? So whom we call it as the ministers. Okay, the council of ministers. Okay, they get changed once in 5 years, once the government changes. Okay, other than that, we have permanent executives who run the country on day-to-day basis. Okay, so they are responsible for the administration of the country. So these are the permanent executives, and these permanent executives are who we call it as civil servants. Okay, so when I say civil services examination, so basically it is the examination conducted for the selection into civil services. The civil servants. Okay, civil servants, they include all of them. All the people who work in the government at all the different levels, from Group A, Group B, Group C, Group D, all 4 levels. Fine. In that, the civil services examination conducted by UPSC is the examination for the entry into the highest level among all of this. Okay, so above this, there is no direct entry. Above this, there is no direct entry into this civil services. Okay, all the people who are part of this executives, the permanent executives, Group C, Group B, Group D, Group C, Group B, Group A. In that, the highest direct entry level is our civil services examination. Fine. And there we have a total of 24 to 25 services for which the UPSC conducts a single examination. That is civil services. Okay, in that the most preferred and most desired and most commonly chosen and most well known also, that is IAS, Indian Administrative Service. Okay, so in addition to that we have IPS, Indian Police Service. So आजकल वो भी famous हो रहे हैं हमारे reels के ज़माने में, है ना? So Indian Police Services. Then we have IRS, Indian Revenue Services, Indian Foreign Services. Okay, so and like this, there are many such services. Together, for all the services together, there is a single examination. That is what is the Civil Services Examination, CSE. Fine. This is what. Okay, so I'll tell you the pattern, on what pattern they chose. But the importance of this examination you have to understand. The importance of this examination. You want to be part of this permanent executive. There is no other examination which will give you an access at the highest level. Okay, so this is the highest level up to which you can get selected. Okay, so once you enter from here, you can go and reach the topmost position in the entire government. Okay, so that is at the state level, it is the chief secretary, or at the central level, it may be the cabinet secretary. Okay, that is the topmost level of the entire bureaucracy. Okay, so if you enter here, you may have the chance of getting into that level. Okay, so other than that, there are many other examinations conducted by various other bodies for the other levels. Okay, state public service commissions are there, the short service commissions are there. So all of them, they are conducting the examinations in their respective levels. So that is what. The question of why is more personal, I would say. Okay, so for some it is, so a desire to be part of the administrative mechanism to see the growth story of the country, right? Or some other to so the diversity of experience it offers, the kind of working conditions you get to work. Okay, so or even the so most challenging tasks you are given in terms of law and order enforcement, in terms of revenue collection, in terms of the management of resources, human resource management. Okay, so or even the disaster management, like this, the diversity of experiences and the challenging nature of the job, and as well as the the power and authority to bring change. Okay, as I told you, this is an opportunity to be part of the growth story of India. Okay, so as a developing country, so there's a huge opportunity to bring changes. So other than this, it's a lifelong learning opportunity. So once you get into civil services, you get posted in all such diverse locations, diverse job, diverse authorities. So the level of learning, the kind of learning experience which you get here, okay, so that is unparalleled. Okay, so it will transform your entire personality, right? And also, the kind of satisfaction which you get. So when you are there on the ground working with the people and working for their betterment and contributing at the grassroots level. Okay, so these are some of the common reasons I can say. Other than this, of course, many of you have your own personal reason, either to take it as a challenge and achieve something. Okay, for some of them it is it's a personal challenge. Okay, I want to do this, I want to get the rank, right? Or for some it is a fame. Okay, so for some it is the change for their entire surrounding. Okay, so their entire village maybe, or maybe their family, to make things better for them. Okay, all of these are valid reasons, yes. And the question of why is, I would say, it is more personal, and one has to be very, very clear about this. Okay, so why you want to prepare for this? Because after some time, what, how. If why is not clear, so you will not get motivation to proceed ahead. Why do you want to come here? At the first place, why you are preparing? Because it's a very long process, very tiresome process. If this is not clear, you will not get enough energy, enough motivation, right? So how is very simple. Okay, so overall, the pattern of the examination involves 3 stages. Okay, so there are 3 stages in this entire examination, commonly said as 3 stages. Okay, so that is 3 different levels, we can say. So one is the preliminary examination, the preliminary stage, so where you have to appear for 2 papers on the same day. Okay, one is general studies, the paper 1, and then the second one is the paper 2, which is CSAT paper. Okay, so if you clear this, you will be qualified for the main examination. Okay, so there are 2 papers here, one in the morning, another in the afternoon. And the afternoon paper, the civil services aptitude test, CSAT, is just qualifying in nature. Okay, so your marks in this paper will not be counted. However, your marks in this paper will be counted to check your eligibility for mains examination. Okay, so that means whoever has qualified in CSAT with a minimum of 33%, okay, so then you will be qualified for your marks in general studies will be counted. Among them, the top number of candidates will be selected for main examination. In the main examination, this prelims is objective in nature. The main examination is descriptive in nature. So there are a total of 7 papers whose marks will be counted, plus 2 more papers again, which is qualifying in nature. Okay, so 1 essay paper for 250 marks, 4 general studies papers, each 250 marks, 2 optional papers, each 250 marks, and 2 language papers. Okay, language paper is just for, again, qualifying in nature. Okay, you have to clear that, then only this marks will be counted. Okay, if you don't clear that, you're like eliminated in the main stage again. Okay, once you clear that, your marks will be totaled here, and then based on that, again, the topmost candidates will be called for personality test, which is also called as interview commonly called as personality test. Their the interview will be conducted for 275 marks. So now 1750 marks plus 275 marks will be totaled together, and then the rank will be given. Now based on the rank, based on the service preference, the service will be allocated. Okay, so let's say you have got the first rank. Okay, so and if your preference is IAS, you will be allocated IAS. Okay, let's say you have got 50th rank. Okay, so and your service preference is, let's say, Indian Foreign Service. And by 50th rank, all the foreign service is allocated, then your second preference will be allocated to you. Like this, you have to give your service preference. Based on the rank and based on the service preference, the services are allocated for those finally selected candidates. And if somebody fails at this stage, you have to go through all the 3 stages again. Okay, from preliminary, mains and interview, again you have to pass. Anywhere in between, if you fail, you have to come from the first stage. Okay, this is the overall idea. And the cycle of this examination usually starts from February with the notification. UPSC announce the notification usually in the month of February 1st or 2nd week, and some few days. Okay, so sometimes 20 days, sometimes 25 days or 30 days. So the deadline will be given for applying for the preliminary examination. In that notification, the entire details regarding the examination will be given, including the qualification, including the syllabus and all such criteria which you have to go through it. Notification is the most important thing. One is, once you a civil services aspirant, once you decide to prepare for UPSC, first thing you have to see is the notification. You have to go through each and every line which is given in the notification. Fine. That is the most important thing that comes out here, and based on that you will apply for the preliminary examination. Preliminary examination will be conducted usually in the month of May or June. Okay, so this year 2025 the prelims examination is in the month of May, that is May 25. So it is a single day, 1 day examination, and after that they will announce the result in usually less than a month time. So usually in less than a month's time, and usually within the 3 months of time, the mains examination will be conducted. Okay, so the last year mains was in the month of September, and it's usually between September to October. Now in the recent times, the cycle is shifting a little bit, earlier. Okay, so around that time we'll have mains examination. Mains examination will continuously go for 2 weeks. Okay, usually conducted along the weekends. Okay, so the first weekends it starts with the Friday, and then Saturday, and then Sunday, and then the next weekend again the Saturday and Sunday. Okay, so in this cycle the mains examination will be completed, and then after that maybe within 1.5 to 2 months of time the result will be announced. And this year's result came in the first week of December. Okay, first second week of December it was announced, and the interviews are starting from the first second week of January. Okay, so that is usually the personality test starts, and it would go on depending upon the number of candidates, depending upon the overall schedule. Usually it goes on for like 2 to 3 months. Okay, so and finally at the end of it the final results will be announced. That usually comes out by the month of end of April or first week of May. Okay, so that is when we can say one cycle is completed, and those who got eliminated at any stage, they have to again appear for the next cycle. If at all you had observed, before the personality test before the personality test is conducted, the next year's notification would be out. It happens that many of the times the candidates are appearing for the personality test, they would also have applied for the next year's preliminary, because so it's never sure. You have to be ready with all these efforts. If at all if there's any chance of not clearing, so you would definitely want to give again and try once more. So and many other times, so after the final interview you will be having less than a week or less than 15 days of time, and you have to reappear again. That is one of the most difficult tasks. You will not have time to grieve even the failure of the previous attempt. So you have to immediately come back and start preparing, right? So this is the overall cycle, and as I told you, so the overall the the paper and their detailed syllabus is given is in this PPT. You can download this from the description. And there are two papers to this. So this paper one in prelims, there are two papers. Paper one is the general studies. Okay, so where we have the subjects which is general and common to everyone, whoever is going to appear here. So that is why the name general studies. Okay, so that includes the topics of current affairs, and then history, and then geography, and then polity and governance, and then economics, and then issues on environment, and then general studies. Okay, general science, sorry. Okay, these are the concepts which are topics which are part of this paper one, which is usually, so everyone prepare thoroughly. You have to prepare thoroughly because the marks in this paper is going to decide your eligibility for the main examination. And paper two, as I told you, CSAT. Okay, so civil services aptitude test. Okay, that includes the areas like reading comprehension. Okay, so and so logical reasoning, and even the general mental ability, basic numeracy, all these aspects, so which is earlier it was part of GS only before 2011. So after that they were it was made as a separate paper. So now this paper is just qualifying in nature. Once you qualify for this, qualify in this, your marks will be counted over there. But you should not take the CSAT paper seriously. You should not take it lightly. You should take it seriously, because many of the times those who had who were from science background, maths background, engineering background, they would be thinking, मेरे से तो हो जाएगा, इसमें क्या मेहनत करना है. Okay, so but if you see the paper of 2023. The best example where which gives you very important instruction that you should never take CSAT lightly. So many students who had actually appeared for the CAT examination and cleared CAT examination, they failed to qualify here. Okay, so please practice some and be sure that you are thoroughly going through this. And just a second. So talking about the mains examination, so we have all of them are subjective papers. You have to write for 3 hours. Each paper covers 250 marks. In paper 1 of main examination, that is essay, you have to write 2 essays, and in a time period of 3 hours, and the marks will be total of 250 marks. Usually if you get anywhere between 125 to 150, it is considered to be a very good score here. Okay, so and in general studies we have 4 general studies papers, which is commonly called as GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4. Each paper accounts for 250 marks. Okay, so let me just so in all of these papers, it is called as general studies because it is common for everyone. Okay, so everyone who is appearing for this main examination have to prepare for this and write this. So GS1 is where we have the subjects of history, geography, and society. Okay, so in history we have the ancient art and culture, and modern India, post-independence, and world history. Okay, these are the histories aspects which you have to study for mains. And then comes society, and then the largest part of paper 1, that is GS1, is geography, which accounts for nearly 100 marks. Okay, so that is GS1. GS2 has the subjects like the polity and Indian constitution, governance, social justice, and international relations. Okay, that is GS2. GS3 we have 5 subjects: economics, science and technology, and then environment, disaster management, and then internal security. Okay, that is GS3. GS4 is ethics. Okay, so which tries to check your ethical understanding and ideas of morals and ethics of the society. Okay, so that is GS4. It usually contains 2 parts. The first part is the theoretical aspects. The second part is through the case studies out of 250 marks. So then comes optional. Okay, so optional is something which every candidate has to choose among a total of 26 subjects. Okay, total of 26 subjects are available. In that one subject, one optional you have to choose. Okay, so it is not necessary that you have to choose that optional from where you have done the graduation, which is usually the common preference for those who are from the arts background or commerce background, but usually from the science background. So so there's so many diverse number of subjects, right? So they chose the one which they are comfortable. Usually that is the trend. You can choose any of the optional. It is not compulsory that you have to be a graduate in this to select this. Okay, so for example, if you're an engineering graduate, you can still take any of the subjects. Okay, so like literature or psychology or sociology, doesn't matter. Okay, so the idea is that you have to give a thorough and specialized preparation, and then you have to appear for that paper. Okay, so they are not going to check you based on your graduation qualification, based on like you have given time. आपके लिए 1 साल time दिया है, आप इसको इस particular area को in depth में पढ़ के आना, तो हम questions पूछेंगे. That is the overall idea. General studies, because it's overall, it's going to be general. You're not going to be expected to study in too detail, in too technical aspects. Because general studies subjects you will study only up to 12th standard level. Okay, whatever the subjects I mentioned, it is only up to 12th standard level. Whereas in case of optional, it is honors level. So honors is 1 year beyond graduation, like 4 years of study. Okay, that is the expected level of expertise you should have. Okay, so that it is up to you. So you can choose any of your comfortable subject. Okay, so and these are the subjects which one has to choose. And in that there will be 2 papers. Okay, so whatever the subject you are going to choose, in that there will be 2 papers. Let's say you have chosen geography optional. So in that there is geography paper 1, geography paper 2. Okay, so since there is only one optional which is for everyone, the examination will be conducted on the same day. So earlier there used to be 2 optionals. Okay, before 2012, before 2013, when the syllabus was changed, there used to be 2 options you have to change. That time many of the students would have overlapping optional, right? So the overall main examination would go for a month of time, because every optional has to be conducted separately, right? So now it has made it a bit easier for that matter. So this is the overall, the pattern and the examination, the idea of the examination one has to prepare. Okay, so now comes the actual part of this, the overall objective of this session, that is for the working professionals. So we know this examination people prepare. Usually the pattern is that they go for the preparation of 1 complete years. Okay, so it takes at least a 1 year of thorough preparation to understand all of these subjects, optional, and so understand things in detail. Then the entire cycle of the examination itself is 1 year. Okay, so you have to give a minimum of 2 years for this examination. A minimum of 2 years is necessary, assuming that you are going to clear in the first attempt. Okay, so of course everyone would want to do that. Okay, so but many of the times things are not in our hand. It goes beyond so the comprehension that what went wrong. Okay, so in that case, in many of the times you have just missed by a few marks. Okay, so in that case, so definitely an aspirant having given so much of time, so they would want to give 1 more attempt. Okay, so like this, it goes on. Sometimes it goes into the 3rd attempt, 4th attempt, 5th attempt. Okay, so like that it goes on. So very famously, you must have seen in the recent movie. Okay, so in that you would have seen the overall the stress, anxiety, and the overall pressure one goes through during this entire preparation process. So having said this, if you think about a working professional who is working full time and again aspiring to prepare for this examination. Okay, so of course there are many challenges associated with this kind of preparation. Okay, so if you are working professional, definitely it is going to be very tricky than a full time aspirant. But at the same time, there's also some kind of advantages of having a working experience and working professional. So what are these advantages? So one, of course, the financial stability. If you're working, I assume that you are getting some amount of so the payment for your work. So and so that so that is a major differentiating factor compared to any other UPSC aspirant. Okay, one who is working, one who is preparing full time. Okay, so he would be depend upon the family or any other source of income. Okay, so there is always some kind of stress related to the finances part, and it is not a very so easier thing to go through this entire financial stress. And a working professional would not have that kind of stress. So you're totally liberated from all these issues. Okay, whatever the finances you're able to earn, with that you are able to manage, right? So financial stability is one thing which I can say it gives you confidence. It gives you a stress-free environment for your preparation. The second important aspect is the practical approach. Okay, so for a person who has never worked, okay, who has just completed the graduation and directly come to the preparation, so he will never be able to see things and understand things from a real world perspective. Okay, so because wherever you go out and start to work, okay, so in the real world, there, you learn so many things. Okay, so you take a simple example of working in a team. Okay, so you talking with the different people among your, so the colleagues, or you're going on the field and getting the job done. Okay, that kind of exposure is also required to understand things in a better manner. I'm not saying every job is like field job. Of course, many of the jobs maybe there's just dog 5 to 10 job, okay, so where you have no exposure to the field. But still, within that setup, there's some kind of practical exposure. How the things work outside. So that is definitely going to be helpful for you. Okay, so because many of these subjects, okay, many of these subjects are so very theoretical. Okay, for example, you take economics. Okay, when you talk about the inflation. Okay, when you talk about the GDP. Okay, so when you work in the company, when you are getting paid, and when you talk about the finances, you have some practical exposure over there. Okay, so like this, everyone will have some kind of correlation from their job to this study. That practical approach is very much required. Okay, so trust me, in interview, this is something which comes out naturally. Okay, for the interview board, they will very clearly see, okay, so whether you have done only theoretical study with no exposure to the outside world. Okay, so, and there's another guy, okay, so he has done average study, but he has a very good exposure to the outside world, and he knows how to get the things done. Okay, so definitely the second guy is a better candidate for civil services, because civil services is like on the field job. Okay, another important thing which you would learn from the work or work commitment is the time management skill. Okay, so of course when you're working somewhere, so there's things which goes according to the office, according to the time, because you are not the only person who is there, right? So you're working with a team, you're working with an organization, and in that you have to manage the time. Okay, so because then only everything goes streamlined. The basic thing, most basic thing, you go at 10 o'clock, come out at 5 o'clock. Okay, so you have your lunch time, you have your leisure time. The basic time management skill you will learn from there. Most of the fresh candidates will not have this. They find it difficult to even to manage a proper schedule of study. Okay, the time management skill. Okay, so some of the jobs are going to be very, very hectic. Okay, so those, let's say those who work in the banking sector. Okay, so or any of the financial institutions, their work schedule becomes so tight, and you learn to manage that over a period of time. You learn to manage that time management skill is going to be definitely very useful in your preparation also. Okay, otherwise what happens, you tend to think that okay, you're not working, so you have all the time to prepare. Okay, so and with that leisure mindset, when you start to study, so before you know, the exam is there. Okay, so you'll always have that issue when you're working, when you're studying full time. Second, from the perspective of interview, I told you the work experience, whether to work under in a team or to have a better communication skill, so or to understand the other person who is there in the team, understand his issues and empathize. Okay, so all of these are the things which is definitely going to be very much helpful in your interview. So that thing will differentiate. See, many of the things you may not be able to understand by yourself. It comes out naturally. Okay, so many of the time situation based questions are asked, you're asked to provide the solution. Okay, so here you don't think, okay, I have worked on the field, I'll use that experience. No, some of the things comes naturally. Some of the things are very much obvious for you. Okay, so that work experience will definitely have an impact on your profile in interview. Okay, so and of course, compared to a person who has been consecutively giving attempts, like 3-4 attempts he is giving without any kind of work. Okay, so and here he has nothing to show in his DAF. Okay, than a person who is preparing and as well as working. Okay, there is something substantial in the DAF. That will differentiate yours and those who are giving full time. Okay, so it has a very good role in interview. And also, so in the work environment, there are certain profiles which will make your personality, so suited for civil services. Okay, so so a professional attire, okay, the way of speaking, okay, so that formal language, and also, so in some of the, let's say you got selected to one of the services earlier, okay, so you are in the other services which you are not preferred, but you are into that, now you are going to prepare again. Okay, so when you are into that service, that training which you had undergone over there is definitely going to shape your interview this time. Okay, so all of this are going to be very, very helpful. So it's always better to have, so something, work experience. That's always something, starts at a higher level than with a zero work experience candidate. Okay, of course, those who have no work experience, of course, their advantages are different. I'm telling your advantage in this context. Comparatively, you have less pressure. How? I'm not talking about the work pressure. I'm talking about the pressure to clear this examination. Imagine a person who has no job, nothing. Okay, so he is not earning. There's a higher pressure from the family. Okay, so अभी graduation हो गया, engineering कर लिया, तो 4 साल हो गया, आप अभी तक कुछ नहीं हुआ है. Okay, तो छोड़ो, शायद नहीं हो पाएगा, तो और कुछ कर लो. ये सब चीज़ें तो होता है. So on the other hand, for the girls, okay, so there's another issue like शादी कर लो, अभी इतना time हो गया. There's that pressure. If at all you are working, like you are free from that. You can say, ठीक है, काम तो चल रहा है ना, work career is going on. Let me try this. You can honestly, you can confidently say that, right? And even in terms of for your at the personal level also, I'm talking. First was societal level. Second at the personal level also. Okay, if this is not working out, you have a backup. Okay, so if it is not working out, it's not like we have lost everything. Working and preparing has this advantage. It's not like you will lose you will not lose everything. Those who are like 100% given, invested here without any kind of work experience, like there is always some kind of fear. अगर ये नहीं हुआ तो क्या होगा? उस प्रेशर के वजह से ना थोड़ा सा परफॉर्मेंस कम हो जाता है. उससे तो आप फ्री हैं. You are free from that. Okay, so that is why it's of less of so pressure.
Are you ready to excel in the UPSC Personality Test 2024, the final step to achieving your civil services dream? Join Vision IAS Personality Development Program, crafted to prepare you holistically for this crucial stage. Our program includes depth analysis sessions with senior experts to identify potential interview questions, mock interviews with ex-bureaucrats and educationists to build confidence, current affairs sessions for a comprehensive understanding of trending issues, elocution classes to refine your communication and behavioral skills. Interactive sessions with toppers and serving officers provide insights and motivation to align your preparation with success. Prepare to stand out with personalized mentorship and performance feedback. Admissions are open for UPSC Mains 2024 qualified students.
So having said those are the advantages. So definitely you have many other challenges which you have to overcome. Then only like you will be at par. Okay, so what are the major challenges? Okay, so time limitation is one of the major challenges which you will have to face. Okay, compared to an aspirant who is giving a full-time preparation. Okay, so he has 24 hours of day at his disposal. Okay, so and he can plan like, okay, so आराम से like, okay, so खाना पीना सोना तो आराम से preparation का strategy बना सकते हो. You will always have that limitation. Okay, 10 to 5 is your job. During this time you cannot do. Maybe some of the job profile may allow you to do in between, but not everyone. Okay, on an average, if I am assuming during the work hour you will not be able to study. There's that limitation, and rest of the time you have to manage so efficiently. Okay, so most important challenge faced by the working professional is the lack of time shortage, time management नहीं हो पा रहा है. ठीक है, so that is a major limitation. We'll talk about how to overcome this later. Let's see what are the challenges. Second, the study hours are going to be limited. Okay, so I'm not talking in terms of number of hours, the time It's not like you will be able to study at any time of the day. ऐसा नहीं कि जब भी time मिल जाएगा तो बुक उठा के पढ़ते हैं. Okay, थोड़ा बहुत physical stress भी होगा, mental stress भी होगा. Okay, so work usually काम करने के बाद में आके पढ़ाई करने बैठना बहुत मुश्किल होता है. There is only specific hours of the day where you can plan, or in the weekends you can plan. That limited hours of study, another major challenge. You have to plan everything accordingly, right? Third, maintaining consistency with studies. Some of the job is going to be challenging, some of the jobs works require, traveling from one place to another, or, where there is no fixed schedule, working schedule. Okay, so in that case, so whatever you had planned may not go accordingly. It may not go accordingly. To maintain consistency in this kind of scenario, or even if it is a consistent, predictable work hours, still with the limitation of time, mental fatigue, okay, physical stress, so so to have that kind of consistent performance is something which is challenging. Maintaining consistency with the study. Okay, so lack of preparation environment is again one of the major challenge which you would face. If you are working, of course, it's not like you will get the opportunity to be in Delhi. Okay, so where usually students prefer to do so. Okay, so you may be working in any other city and you have to stay there. You cannot come out regularly. You cannot travel for so attending the mock test or anything. There's always that limitation. If at all a candidate is sitting here in Old Rajendra, Karol Bagh, there's total environment. If at all you go out and see, okay, so pura market, pura mall UPSC ka hai. Okay, you go to a chai shop UPSC, you go to a barber shop UPSC. Okay, so in fact they can guide you better than many of the mentors. Fine. So they will have the prediction. Okay, इस बार का cutoff ऐसे होगा. Okay, so this entire area is filled with UPSC. हवा में UPSC है यहाँ पर. So, but you will lose that. Like when you're working somewhere else, like you don't have that advantage. Okay, that is it. That is a challenge. Fine. And maintaining physical and mental health. Okay, maintaining all of this and having a balance. And if at all you're able to do everything, you're compromising somewhere. And usually that happens at the physical and mental level. Okay, you get stressed so much and you end up compromising. ठीक है, काम भी करना है, पढ़ाई भी करना है. दोनों करके फिर कहीं भी तो compromise होगा. चलो इसको compromise कर लेते. Okay, so people end up compromising in physical and mental health. And stress and pressure, of course. Okay, so I told you, you are relieved of the financial stress. You're relieved of that, so having, betting everything in the same thing. But there are a few other stress, of course, like managing the time is not very easy. Okay, so going through this tight schedule is not very easy. That creates another stress, another anxiety. Okay, so आप करना चाहते हो. Okay, so in this process you start to learn many things that you may at the end ऐसा भी होता है कि आपका जो current job में आपको dissatisfaction आना शुरू हो जाता है. Because when you start to see things, when you start to see yourself as a civil service aspirant, so you tend to go into that so mode. Okay, ठीक है, IAS का life ऐसे होगा. फिर आपको पहले जो काम अच्छा चल रहा था वो भी आपको बुरा लगेगा. That is another kind of stress. So these are the various challenges which you would face definitely. Okay, so now how to overcome this? Okay, so let's go through different aspects one by one. Okay, starting from the preparation strategy, the most basic thing, then we'll come to the other challenges. Okay, this is, I think it's common for everyone who is going to prepare for UPSC examination, the basic idea of preparation. Okay, so for a person who is a working professional, this has to be very, very clear. For a person who is coming to the class regularly and who is full time, so he has some, leeway. So थोड़ा बहुत ठीक है, करके सीख लेते हैं ऐसे. आपके लिए तो ये जो strategy है वो बहुत clear होना चाहिए. You cannot take a chance of wasting time here. Okay, this strategy should be very, very clear from the beginning itself. So that is why the first most important thing is the strategy, preparation strategy. The first thing, the study. From whatever the background you have come, you have chosen to prepare for this examination, and you have to, so dedicate some time during the basic study. Okay, so let's say you have done engineering and you have studied science. Majorly your focus area was science. So last time you would have studied history was like, let's say 10th standard, geography was 10th standard. Now you have to go back and revise all of these things, and many of the times you would have completely forgotten. You have to dedicate the time to understand the subject, the basic content. Okay, so here comes the basic content. And here you will study the subject from the subject's perspective, not for prelims, not for mains, not for interview. You will do it in an integrated manner. Okay, whatever you are going to see, so it should be done in an integrated manner. Okay, let's say you're picking geography as a subject and you're going to go through the subject. Okay, so you will study the subject. Conceptual understanding is important. Of course, there are certain facts, there are certain concepts, there are certain analytics, there are certain current affairs. You have to integrate everything and understand this subject. You will not prepare prelim separately, main separately, and then interview separately. No, that will not happen. Every subject is done like this. Okay, so integrated approach is the key. The basic content preparation, I'm saying. The resources which you are going to use for this, it has to be, so efficient. Okay, so because, so in my time, so if I have to talk about it, so around 15 years ago, okay, so that time there was a lack of resources. जो भी मार्केट में नए बुक आते हैं हम कर ही लेते तो पढ़ते हैं. Okay, so resources ही बहुत कम था. Okay, जो भी दूसरे बंदे पढ़ रहे तो उसके बारे में पता करो तो चलो ये भी पढ़ो. अभी इतना resources भरा है, offline, online, everything. Okay, it will take like 100 years to finish all these resources. Okay, there's so many resources. In that scenarios, you have to be very sure what are the essential resources which is required. Make a simple list. I'm not asking you to make a comprehensive list here. Make a simple and essential list. If you are reading this subject, you have to go through this. Okay, for example, geography. You're reading geography, you have to go through 11th and 12th standard NCERT. That is must. Okay, so you talk to your mentors, you talk to the teachers, or you talk to your peers, they will guide you. Okay, you will understand. Okay, don't follow anyone blindly. At the same time, don't follow everyone. Listen to few people and make your own strategy. Based on that, make a simple list. This subject, these are the essential. First, make the essential sources. Then there is an additional source. For every subject, you will get that additional book. Okay, for example, so after reading NCERTs, let's say you are preparing polity. Okay, first you will read NCERT. NCERT is must. You have to read that. Okay, there is Indian democracy, Indian constitution at work. Okay, so like this, there is 11th and 12th standard NCERT of political science. First you will read this. After that, there are multiple sources here. Okay, you may go for Lakshmikant, you may go for D.D. Basu, you may go for Subhash Kashyap. In that, just have a glimpse. Don't read everything. Just have a glimpse. Just 1 or 2 chapters. If you are finding it comfortable, go ahead. And don't look back. Okay, so if at all you felt Lakshmikant, okay, 1 or 2 chapters after reading that you felt comfortable, start with it and continue. Forget that there is the D.D. Basu and Subhash Kashyap existing. If you truly believe that source, that would be sufficient for you. Okay, so sources, there is one essentialist, you have to complete the second, the additional, the reference source. Follow only one. Don't follow multiple sources. Okay, specifically a working professional, you don't have the luxury. And if you follow one thoroughly, that would be sufficient. It is totally sufficient. Okay, so in UPSC, there is no best source as such. कोई भी सब्जेक्ट के लिए बेस्ट सोर्स नहीं होता है. एवरेज सोर्स पकड़ लो, उसको बेस्ट तरीके से पढ़ना है. टेक एनी एवरेज सोर्स एंड रीड इन अ बेस्ट पॉसिबल मैनर. बिलीव दैट हाँ इसके ऊपर भरोसा रखो, हाँ इसको मैं 100% पढ़ के जाऊंगा. ठीक है, दैट इज डेफिनेटली गोइंग टू बी मोर हेल्पफुल दैन गोइंग इन सर्च ऑफ ए बेस्ट सोर्स एंड प्रिपेयरिंग इट एवरेज और बिलो एवरेज. से रिटर्न्स आएगा ही नहीं आपको. राइट, ट्रस्ट वन सोर्स एंड read it thoroughly, comprehensively, multiple time revision. So resource optimization is very, very important for you. Make a simple list, essential, and one additional source, and completely rely on that. If at all you have taken any classroom program, okay, you are part of the classroom program, you have class notes, many of the times even that would be more than sufficient. Okay, so considering the time limitation, you have to manage the resources. Okay, trust me, it's not about the resources. Okay, so if you ask, even if you ask our toppers, if there are 1,000 students who have cleared this exam last year, all of them you try to see their source list, all of them are different. No two topper will suggest the same source list from end to end. It is not at all possible. Okay, so that means it's not about the source, it's about how you are going to study. And your study has to be focused. Okay, so what do you mean by focused study? to understand the demand of UPSC. When you're studying geography, you're not, of course, you're trying to understand the geography's concepts, but see from UPSC's perspective. Okay, so what UPSC is trying to check? What is the requirement? Focus on those areas and study. If you start to read everything related to geography, so there is no end to it. If you start to read everything related to polity, there is no end to it. Okay, so your preparation has to be focused, the target area. And in that also, again, after reading a particular concept, it's not like you will go into a different source, again you read the same thing. Okay, so फंडामेंटल राइट्स मैंने यहाँ पर लक्ष्मीकांत में पढ़ लिया, चलो डीडी बसु में क्या दिया वो भी एक बार पढ़ लेते हैं, फिर सुभाष कश्यप में क्या दिया एक बार पढ़ लेते हैं. That is not a focus study. Whatever you read in Lakshmikant, read it. Rather than reading 2 more times over there, read the 2 more times here only. That is going to be more effective. Okay, that is going to be more effective. It's not like you are going to read multiple different sources. You are going to read the same source multiple times. That is a focus study. Okay, definitely that is going to have a better impact than, so reading everything and not remembering anything. Okay, so it's like the pressure. Geography, while explaining this pressure, the idea of pressure, I give you this example. So imagine there's a wall. On the wall, if you hit with a fist, okay, so will it cause any impact on the wall? So you may end up injuring your fist. The same force, you hit a nail on the wall. The nail can pierce through the wall. Is that right? That is what is the impact. Okay, that is, in that context it was pressure. In this context, that is how your UPSC preparation should be. It should be focused. Don't develop mastery over the entire syllabus. That is not required. Understand your strength. Play around that. Understand the demand of UPSC. Fulfill that. Okay, wherever your weaker areas are there, try to cover it broadly, generally. You don't have to master every part of this UPSC syllabus. Your preparation should be focused as per the demand of UPSC and wherever the maximum output is going to be. That is what is focus study. And for that, PYQs are going to be very, very helpful. To understand the demand of UPSC, there is no other better source than previous year's questions, both prelims as well as mains. Okay, so prelims 10 years, mains 10 years. If you can do, those who are going to appear for 2026, you have enough time. Okay, so start with that. And do this PYQ analysis parallelly. Do it parallelly. And better, do it before you study the subject. Let's say you have started to study geography. Okay, you have studied, okay, 1 or 2 NCERT you studied. Now you want to study a little bit more in detail. Okay, you want to go and study 11th and 12th standard NCERT, or you want to go through the class notes. Before that, go through 10 years of prelims questions of geography and 10 years of mains questions of geography. With that, you will be able to narrow down what are the focus area. You will not wander around. आपको exactly पता है यहाँ पर क्वेश्चन आए हैं, इस एरिया पे ज़्यादा पढ़ाई करना है, या इस तरीके के क्वेश्चन आए हैं, यहाँ पर ऐसे पढ़ना है. Whether you have to remember a factual information, or you give more importance to concepts, or you have to remember from the current context, everything you will get the information from PYQ. It will save lot of your time. आपके लिए तो time तो shortage है ना, ये time बचाने के लिए है PYQs. It will give you proper guidance, proper route बताएगा कैसे जाना है आपको. Most of the students don't do this. Most of the students क्या करते हैं, पूरा साल प्रिपेयर कर लिया, फिर एंड में एग्जाम के पहले एक बार PYQ देख लेते, फिर समझ आएगा ऐसे प्रिपेयर ही नहीं करना था, पूरा साल खत्म ही हो गया. Okay, please don't do that mistake. While starting the preparation, go through once, and parallelly, whenever you have particular subject, particular unit is complete, go through the PYQ once. Okay, you will be immediately able to assess, okay, so whether you have prepared according to the demand of UPSC or not. This is like your friend, a trusted friend who will guide you during this entire preparation process. And most important part is assessment and mock test. Okay, so now you have understood the direction. Okay, UPSC PYQ के थ्रू तो हमें पता चल गया, सिलेबस भी बहुत क्लियरली पता चल गया, सोर्सेस भी बहुत लिमिटेड रखा है, अच्छे तरीके से फोकस्ड मैनर में you are studying this. Now, whether you are going right or not, आपका प्रिपरेशन लेवल यूपीएससी के एक्सपेक्टेशन से है या नहीं है, रेगुलर इंटरवल में असेस करना है. Okay, of course you are going to use PYQ for this. Okay, but what happens to practice on daily basis and regular interval में एग्जाम एनवायरनमेंट में बैठ के पढ़ाई करना है, मतलब जो असेस करना है, तो वहां पर आपको चाहिए मॉक टेस्ट. Assessment is done on daily basis. You can do, so for example in Vision IAS we have a provision where you can just select a particular topic. Okay, so and the database will give you a question paper. The Sandhan initiative. Okay, just log into Sandhan initiative. So you, whatever the topic, let's say today you have studied about tropical cyclone, you select the tropical cyclone over there. It will make a customized paper for you. Okay, so you give 10 questions, 10 questions, one question paper is ready. You have 15 minutes of time. In that time, you are going to attempt this. You will not need any other best practice other than this. Okay, so there is also option to include PYQ questions also. So like this, on daily basis, you have to practice and assess whether you are going in the right direction or not. That assessment, regular assessment, with the help of mock test also. Mock tests are going to test you in the exam environment regularly, once a month, twice a month. Okay, full length mock test, open test. All of these are going to be very much helpful. Okay, for example, if you know about our Abhyas initiative, prelims as well as mains Abhyas. Okay, we conduct the examination, we conduct the mock test in the same UPSC environment. Okay, same UPSC, you have to go to a government school, okay, on the time, wait there, the bell happens and then you go inside, then the paper will be distributed. Okay, you have the specific time, then you come out, you get the exact feeling of examination that you have given the UPSC exam. Make use of this. This is the basic preparation. Fine. And in this part, analyzing the UPSC's demand is the trickiest part. To understand the UPSC's demand. Many of the times people make mistake and learn. After giving prelims, after giving mains, you're not able to, to qualify. Then you will realize, okay, tab aise karna tha, aise kar liya tha. For a working professional, you don't have that advantage. You don't have that, leisure. You have to be very, very sure. Okay, at regular intervals, try to understand. Here, I told you 2 important things are there. So one is, of course, our PYQ. Okay, so before that, there's one more primary source, which is, so a kind of guiding light for you. That is notification. Notification has to be studied thoroughly. I'm saying studied, not read. You have to study the notification. Okay, so there are 3 things in notification. First one, the information about the exam. Okay, so when is the exam? What is the date? Okay, so what is the eligibility criteria? Okay, so what is the last date? How many posts are there? That is the information. Of course, you have to know that. Second is syllabus. Okay, so for general studies, GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4, syllabus. You have to be totally thorough with that. You have to remember as it is. Okay, so you have to be totally thorough with that. There is a third part, most of the students don't go through this. There are in between subtle hints given by UPSC through notification. What is the overall objective of this examination? What is it expecting out of you? How you have to prepare? There are subtle hints. People don't even understand that. They wouldn't have gone through it. So let me show you that. So this is from the notification only. Okay, from the notification I have taken this as it is. Before the main syllabus, there are 2 paragraphs where UPSC is describing the main examination. Okay, so through this it is describing the main examination. Okay, let's read this. The main examination is intended to assess the overall intellectual traits and depth of understanding of candidates rather than merely the range of their information and memory. Okay, in one line it is defining, okay, what exactly they are trying to do. To assess the overall intellectual traits and depth of understanding. People tend to just mug up things. Okay, so याद रखे जाओ, ये भी पढ़ो, वो भी पढ़ो, ये भी पढ़ो. कितना दिमाग में गया है, कितना actually समझ आया है. Nobody worries about that. UPSC is trying to test that here through different questions. You may not be able to understand. For a person who is evaluating the paper, they see from a general and broader perspective. Okay, what they see, okay, so you have that thing in you to make you a civil servant or not. A general overview, a practical approach, analytical approach. Okay, so वो broad perspective हम नहीं देखते. We are so close to the, so the subject, we fail to see this. Okay, so this is there, of course. Okay, if at all you have heard this, when you are too close to any particular subject, you will not be able to see the entire bigger picture. So sometimes you have to be little bit away from it to understand the bigger picture. Main examination is not about just going through, okay, history पढ़ लिया, geography पढ़ लिया, society पढ़ लिया. What about the interconnection among them? Why these three papers are part of GS1? There is a connection. Society is connected to history. Geography is connected to history. So few of the questions you would have seen. Okay, so history and geography. So geographical setting, how it has influenced the ancient India. This was one of the PYQ. There's always overlapping area between society and geography. Right? That larger picture you have to understand. Very clearly it is saying the overall intellectual trait and depth of understanding is required. Overall understanding, the broader perspective. The nature and standard of the questions in GS will be that a well-educated person will be able to answer them without any specialized study. One of the most important line of this entire notification is this. UPSC is trying to say that a well-educated person will be able to answer these questions without any kind of specialized study. You don't need any kind of specialized study if you are a well-educated person. That is the trick. Okay. So UPSC is expecting that anyone who has completed the graduation or post-graduation, okay, so is a well-educated person. And you don't need any kind of specialized study, you can directly start attempting UPSC examination. Okay, so I know it is too optimistic to think like that. Our education system doesn't work like that. Okay, but still, keeping that aside, there's some hint in this. Okay, so UPSC is saying that आप अगर कॉलेज से बाहर आए तो आप वेल एजुकेटेड है तो एग्जाम दे सकते हैं, आपको कोचिंग का जरूरी नहीं है ना. फ्रॉम द फर्स्ट रीडिंग इट अपियर्स लाइक दिस. ठीक है, देयर इज अ हिडन मीनिंग हियर. ऑफ कोर्स our preparation level during the graduation is not that well कि we will attempt UPSC directly. You need some specialized study. But how you have to study? You have to study from a general perspective, a broader perspective, a well-educated common man. You prepare from that perspective. Okay, so not from a too technical aspect. Okay, so not from a scientist or academics. No, not at all required. ये general studies है. Anyone with some kind of common sense, anyone with some kind of general awareness should be able to make sense in both the question as well as answer. आपका answers में बहुत clearly दिखना चाहिए. Don't make it too technical. While studying also, don't go into too unnecessary depth. Read it from a general broader perspective. Okay, so even I teach in geography. The idea of wind, the idea of Coriolis force. Coriolis force causes deflection. इतना समझ लो काफी है. You don't have to go and derive Coriolis force over there. That is not asked. That was never asked. How it impacts practically. Anything you study, see from a practical point of view. Whether it is history, geography, society, economics, polity, environment, everything try to see from a practical point of view. Understand from a practical point of view, understand from a common man's point of view. That is the meaning of this statement. A well-educated person will be able to answer them without any kind of specialized study. Always read from the point of view of a well-educated common man only. Don't go too detailed, specifically in general studies. A candidate's general awareness of variety of subjects will have relevance for career in civil services, which will have relevance for career in civil services. What are they trying to check? Through every question, your capability to be a better civil servant. Whatever you are going to study, every subject has a relevance for career in civil services. Why do you study history? Why do you study economics? At some point of time, you are going to need this. Okay, so when you are in a district headquarter in charge of the entire district administration, you will find various different problems. Some of them are social, some of them are cultural, some of them are historical aspects also. Some of them are economical, some of them are geographical, some of them are related to law and order. सारे चीज चाहिए आपको. Don't think at the district level. Even if you go into, let's say you become at the secretary level, you are in charge of some particular department. Okay, so let's say you are looking after the telecommunication. There also, every area, every different sector of the society, you have to think from a broader perspective. Then only you can make a better policy. Right? That is why they need civil servants. Whatever the subject you are going to study, see it from the general's perspective. General perspective from the common man's perspective. Second one, the relevance in civil services career. How you are going to apply on the real world. That is what you are going to check here. Your ability to analyze and take views on conflicting socio-economic goals. Okay, so how exactly you are able to take a balanced judgment. Last but not the least, it has also mentioned how your answer should be. The candidates must give relevant, meaningful and succinct answer. Okay, so many people have not even seen this. UPSC बताए आंसर कैसे लिखना है, आंसर रेटिंग कैसे करना है. The answer should be relevant. Relevant means what is asked, you have to talk about that, not what you know. ठीक है, जिस टॉपिक के बारे में पूछा है वो लिखना है. That is relevant. It should be meaningful. If you're talking about a general thing, somebody who is reading this answer should make some sense out of this. It's not like it should be like dumping of all the information. ऐसा नहीं लगना चाहिए. End to end उसको पढ़ के थोड़ा सा लगना चाहिए, हाँ ये बात, there's some sense in this. It should be succinct, crisp, to the point. UPSC saying don't beat around the bush, हमें नहीं चाहिए. जो evaluator है उनको बहुत क्लियरली पता चल जाएगा आपके पास कंटेंट नहीं है. कंटेंट नहीं है तो जितना पता है उतना ही लिखो. Okay, so don't beat around the bush, right to the point. That is succinct. This is just 2 paragraph. इसके ऊपर मैं पूरा सेशन ले सकता हूँ. इतना डिकोड कर सकते हो. You go through PYQ, you go through the toppers answers. Okay, you go through a syllabus. Each of these line makes so much of sense. This is related to interview. So many things. Okay, so all of these are from notification. In my opinion, this is the most important part of notification. People tend to forget. People tend to even notice. Okay, so this is the interview time. Let me just tell you this also. Okay, so the questions will be asked on the matter of general interest. The idea is to assess the personal suitability of a candidate for a career in public service. Not only the intellectual qualities, but also the social traits and interest in current affairs. Okay, people ask this question, should I read current affairs for interview, sir? दिया है, notification में दिया है. Some of the qualities to be judged are mental alertness. They ask situation-based questions. Mental alertness, critical powers of assimilation, clear and logical exposition, balance of judgment, variety and depth of interest, ability for social cohesion and leadership, intellectual and moral integrity. Though directed but purposive conversation. What you are going to have in interview is a conversation. Okay, last line again. Should arouse the curiosity of a well-educated youth. Okay, so UPSC is very clear about this. For whom the examination is being conducted. For whom? A well-educated common man, a well-educated youth. Prepare for this examination from this point of view.
Match your passion for joining the civil services with a strong hold over current affairs. Turn your UPSC Prelims journey into success with the PT 365 program starting from 9th January at 5 p.m. Offering an amalgamation of 1-year current affairs in 60 hours, sourced through authentic sources such as The Hindu, The Indian Express, PIB, Yojana, Economic Times and more. The program is curated to enrich your current affairs knowledge for prelims success. Enroll to transform your preparation with features such as personalized mentoring for current affairs coverage, specific targeted content oriented towards prelims exam, doubt clearing sessions, access to high quality questions with Sandhan personalized test series, access to live and online recorded classes.
So that is the basic preparation strategy. Now let's talk about how to overcome the issues faced by the working professionals. Okay, so first one, according to me, the first and foremost thing one should be very clear about is the question of why. In the beginning, I gave you 3 questions: what, why, and how. What is civil services, how civil services, and why civil services. The why is the most important part here. Each of you have a reason why you are here, why you want to prepare for UPSC. ऐसा तो नहीं है कि ऐसे ही सब लोग प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं, हम भी प्रिपेयर कर लेते हैं. ऐसा है तो 1 साल में निकल जाओगे. जैसे प्रिपरेशन शुरू हो गया, 6 महीने शुरू हो गया तो पता चल जाएगा. This is not an easy task. You are here because you want to do it. Okay, be clear about this. Why do you want to do this? What is the reason? Whether it is a power or recognition or social status, okay, or your intention of seeing a change in the society. Okay, so or bringing a change in your own family, वो भी reason हो सकता है. Okay, because once you get through this, it's not only you, a generation is uplifted. Seeing you, many people will come forward in your village, in your surrounding area. And that is also a good thing, right? Be clear about the question of why. Particularly for a working professional who already has a job, is already working, some stable job is there. Many of you would be already having a very good job. Some of you would be having in a very good corporate roles, positions, earning good numbers. Still you want to come here. Why? A reason is personal, but keep that ready. Because you are going to need that always, again and again, again and again. Whenever a particular chance, whenever a particular challenge comes, think about that reason. That will give you energy. Okay, the question of why should be very, very clear. It may be because of, so you have imagined yourself to be in that role. Or maybe you got to know that, working in government gives you better exposure, better experience. Whatever the reason, be clear about this. Second is acceptance. Whoever is a working professional and preparing, stop thinking that whether you should quit the job or not. No. You are a working professional, you decide to do, there is a reason why do you don't want to quit that, accept it. Okay, so once you start going through this process, whenever a challenge comes, you should not come back to this basic question, okay, I should quit the job. No. People have done this without quitting the job. If they can do it, you can do it. The problem is not the job. Problem is the other issues. Your incapacity to manage the time. Okay, so your incapacity to focus, your inability to understand the demand. Job is not an issue. Accept this. Once you accept this, you will start to see the actual solution. Because actual solution may not be the job itself. Okay, actual solution may be something else. Answer likhna hai. Okay, practice karna hai. Okay, so if you accept this in the beginning, then you will start to see that. नहीं तो आप हमेशा ये job ही दिखता है आपको. I told you many advantages are there. Having a working background, being a working professional, there are many advantages. ठीक है? You are going to be in an advantageous position than others. But others not working, they're giving a full time. There are certain advantages for them. You have to balance that. Okay, so accept. Okay, so you are going to prepare. Done. There is no going back over there. Stop cribbing about this. ठीक है, उसके बारे में सोचना बंद करो. Most important part is time management. After that, once you are done with these two, you focus on time management. Okay, planning your day is very, very crucial. Okay, you have a fixed timing of work. If it is not fixed timing, so try to make it fixed. थोड़ा बहुत उसको fix करने का कोशिश करो. Okay, if there is some variable component, थोड़ा सा जल्दी आना पड़ेगा, लेट जाना पड़ेगा, ऐसे कुछ है तो थोड़ा बात करके सेटल कर दो पहले. Try to develop a fixed schedule. Having a fixed schedule, fixed timing is very, very important for you. Okay? Your day starting from the time of getting up till the time you go to the bed, how you are going to proceed, it should be perfectly planned. Okay, it should be perfectly planned. Hour by hour, minute by minute. Okay? And that should include everything, including the leisure hour, everything. I'm talking about every part of the day. Day, week, month, the entire year. Of course, you cannot plan for the entire year from day 1 to day 365. That is not possible. Okay, but a broad planning should be there. Okay, so but in this week, for this present week, what you are going to do, that all this entire week's plan should be there. And today, hourly plan like that. Okay, so today you are getting up, before going to the sleep only, in the previous night you have to plan. Okay, so next day, these are the things I am going to do. Okay, hour by hour plan is there. Then for this entire week, what are the broad idea? For the entire month, what is the much more broader idea? जैसा जैसा आप timeline बढ़ते जाओगे, तो वो broader होते जाएगा. Planning is very, very important. Every part of your day. And save time as much as possible. Wherever it is possible, try to save time. Let's say you are working somewhere and you're staying somewhere. You have to travel every day. कोशिश करो वर्किंग जहाँ पर एरिया है उसी के बगल में थोड़ा बहुत रेंटेड अकोमोडेशन लेना है तो you will save the travel time, right? It's not only the travel time, it's also the fatigue. Right? Energy is also very much in, less for you. Try to save wherever it is possible. Unnecessary work, try to postpone. Or try to delegate. Okay, so जिनको देना है दे दो, जो भी भरोसा वाला आदमी है उनसे करवा दो. जो आपको करना ही है वही काम आप करो. ठीक है? Try to save time wherever it is possible. Maximum time आपको squeeze करना है. And third one is restrict. There are few things which is not necessary that you have to do it. Okay, but थोड़ा बहुत मन लगता है, ठीक है यार, थोड़ा बहुत मतलब दोस्त लोग बुला रहे हैं, पार्टी वार्टी के लिए बुला रहे हैं. Okay, so बर्थडे पार्टी है, okay, या बैचलर पार्टी है. Okay, सोचो थोड़ा सा कितना इम्पोर्टेंट है. Whether it is too important, okay, so give some time. Okay, but come back soon. Okay, give it. ये भी ज़रूरी है. You cannot completely isolate yourself. If it is something which is very, very important, very personal, you have to give time over there. Don't lose the entire personal time over there. फिर वो भी एक stress create करता है. But जहाँ पर ज़रूरी है वहाँ पर दे दो. जहाँ पर ज़रूरी नहीं है वो avoid करते जाओ. Maximum avoid करो. जहाँ पर थोड़ा बहुत personal level पे जो है ज़रूरी है वहाँ पर ही आप दे दो. You have to restrict as much as possible. Plan, save and restrict. Plan the time. Okay, जो डे टू डे बेसिस में क्या करना है, टाइम मैनेज इज गोइंग टू बी वेरी वेरी क्रूशियल फॉर यू. सो ट्रस्ट मी, फॉर ए पर्सन हु इज प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर दिस एग्जामिनेशन, ओके, फ्रेशली आके जो पढ़ाई करने की कोशिश करता है, जो पढ़ाई कर भी रहा है, जो टाइम मैनेज नहीं कर पा रहे ना, उनका आउटपुट और कम हो जाता है. ओके, ट्रस्ट मी, दोज हु आर नॉट मैनेजिंग द टाइम, he is, for the namesake, he is preparing full time. He has left everything. काम छोड़ दिया, सब कुछ छोड़ दिया, यहाँ पर आके बैठ गया, राजेंद्र नगर में आके बैठ गया. Okay, and he is preparing for the namesake, he is preparing full time, but he is not able to manage the time. क्लास भी आ रहे, वहाँ पर लाइब्रेरी भी जा रहे, चाय की दुकान भी जा रहे, ओके, सो स्टेशनरी भी खरीद रहे, सो बुक शॉप भी जा रहे, हर जगह में जा रहे, तो कहाँ पर कैसे टाइम देने उनको पता भी नहीं है. ओवरऑल आउटपुट इज वेरी वेरी लेस. Being a working professional, you can still make better if you can plan your time properly. ठीक है? End of the day, how much of output, productive time you are going to give in the studies, that is what is going to be matter. Maximum, like many of the cases, a thorough preparation of 5 to 6 hours a day in a consistent level has proven sufficient. Provided your strategy is clear, it is focused, you are understanding the demand of UPSC, regularly checking everything, you execute this consistently, it is going to be sufficient. Time management is the most important key for you. And time is same for everyone. don't think it is short for you. For some it may be much more shorter. It's not about the shortage of time, it's about the managing time better. जो अच्छे से मैनेज कर पाएंगे उनके लिए तो टाइम ज़्यादा मिलता है और टाइम उनका साथ भी देता है. You have to respect time. For that you should be disciplined enough. है ना, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि so you have planned for everything, सब कुछ प्लान बना दिया, ओके so पूरा ओके अच्छे से कर दिया, तो कल सुबह उठ के ठीक ठाक पढ़ाई भी कर लिया, परसों उठने के लिए थोड़ा सा मन कम हो गया. ओके, इट शुड नॉट बी लाइक द गोली सोडा. ओके, सोडा बॉटल खोलते ही इतना प्रेशर आता है फिर वो कम हो जाएगा. ओके, सो discipline at the personal level, the most important one. Okay, so having this big plans, broad objective, okay, bade dreams, everything, it is done by everyone. But day to day basis में जो execute करने का वो होता है ना, it is a very boring job. Trust me, it is a very boring job. But ये करना ही है. You don't have any other alternative. Develop interest in that. Develop genuine interest in that. ठीक है, ये और किसी के लिए नहीं कर रहे हो आप, या आपके लिए कर रहे हो. यू वांट टू डू दिस. स्टार्ट डूइंग इन द सेम कंसिस्टेंट लेवल, सेम टाइम, सेम रेगुलरली, फिर वो हैबिट बन जाएगा. ओके, सो दैट डिसिप्लिन इज रिक्वायर्ड टू अचीव दैट. एक पर्सनल डिसिप्लिन चाहिए. इसी टाइम में उठना है, ठीक है, इसी टाइम में ऑफिस जाना है, इसी टाइम में ऑफिस से भी वापस भी आना है, वहां पर ओवर करने का जरूरी नहीं है. काम खत्म कर दिया, योर वर्क इज डन, कम बैक सून, बिकॉज यू हैव समथिंग बेटर टू डू हियर, है ना, समथिंग इज अवाइटिंग. दैट पर्सनल डिसिप्लिन, इफ यू हैव डिसिप्लिन, ऑफिस वर्क भी एफिशिएंटली चला जाएगा, राइट. along with that, consistency, the same thing again and again, consistently doing, gradually it becomes habit for you. Those things which appears very challenging in the beginning, it is no more a challenge for you. Okay, वो आपको एक चैलेंज जैसे भी नहीं दिखेगा. इनिशियली आपको सुबह उठना चैलेंज लगेगा, न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ना चैलेंज लगेगा. यू डू दिस कंटिन्यूसली, एक टाइम के बाद में इट इज़ लाइक एफर्टलेस. अगर ये नहीं किया तो कुछ मिसिंग लगता है, न्यूज़पेपर नहीं पढ़ा तो कुछ मिसिंग लगता है. इट बिकम्स ईजियर. डू इट विद डिसिप्लिन, डू इट कंसिस्टेंटली, इट इज पॉसिबल. And in the beginning only I told you, UPSC has evolved to a very great extent over a period of time. It is no more about the hard work, it's about the smart work. Okay, so how smartly you are going to plan your entire study, how smartly you are going to execute, this has a very big impact on your entire preparation. Okay, so you need to be consistent, you need to be disciplined, you need to plan your timing well, everything is there. Along with that, try to act smart, try to study smart. For example, making short notes. Okay, so you have studied the entire Bipin Chandra modern Indian history. Okay, so it's a bulky book. You enjoyed studying, you enjoyed reading, so thoroughly idea bhi hai, but now you want to go back and revise. If you don't have a short notes out of this, you will take more time. And time is something which is very much shortage for you. Okay, for some reading is something, so वो continuity flow में चाहिए. हाँ, मुझे original source से भी पढ़ना है, but short notes will reduce the time for you. ठीक है? So wherever it is possible, wherever it is required, try to make short notes. It will help you in better revision, easy revision के लिए helpful रहेगा, and quick revision के लिए. Okay, मान लो work के time में थोड़ा बहुत 1-2 घंटे का leisure मिल गया, है ना, तो तब क्विकली ग्लैंस थ्रू करने के लिए हेल्पफुल रहेगा. लेट्स से यू आर ट्रैवलिंग थ्रू कैब, ओके, सो घर जा रहे हो और मेट्रो में जा रहे हो, यू डोंट हैव द टाइम टू गो थ्रू द एंटायर यूनिट, तो वो एक शॉर्ट नोट से तो क्विकली पास थ्रू हो जाएगा ना. इट सेव ए लॉट ऑफ टाइम. मेकिंग शॉर्ट नोट्स इज गोइंग टू बी हेल्पफुल फॉर यू. रिविजन प्लानिंग शुड बी अगेन, इट हैज टू बी प्लान्ड. आपका हर हफ्ते का जो इंपॉर्टेंस होता है ना, particularly weekends. Okay, so weekends, let's say if at all you are a software professional, you have 2 days of time, Saturday and Sunday. Other than that, let's say any other job, let's say 1.5 day तो मिल ही जाएगा, In that time, you have to take maximum time out. You have to squeeze the time and you have to give maximum dedicated time. Okay, so whatever you had studied in the last week, पूरा week last week जो भी पढ़ाई किया था, end of the week quickly glance through it. Because next week after 5 days, of course you are going to do daily study, but वो एक maximum push मिलता है Saturday Sunday है ना, उस समय तक wait नहीं करना है. ओके सो पूरा वीक का एक ग्लांस थ्रू करके ठीक है, एक बार ये जितना प्लान किया था हो गया, नेक्स्ट वीक अभी शुरू करते हैं. ओके नेक्स्ट वीक का डेली 4 घंटे, डेली 5 घंटे हो रहे, फिर वीकेंड्स में और ज़्यादा. ओके 10 hours 12 hours एडअप हो गया, पूरा वीक में इतना मैंने पढ़ाई किया. यू हैव डन थ्रू दिस. दैट रेगुलर रिविजन is going to be very much useful for you. You don't have to wait for the entire subject to be complete. Don't think that first you will finish entire geography, then you will go through the revision again. Don't think you will do entire polity, then you will do revision again. Regularly करते रहना है. Most importantly, current affairs. Current affairs के लिए बहुत helpful रहेगा. So let's say you're reading newspaper. Okay, quick glance through on daily basis. You're reading newspaper and reading current affairs magazine. Okay, so 1 month you read. Okay, let's say Vision IAS monthly magazine is there. Okay, you read the November month magazine. So next you are reading again December month magazine. When you complete December, revise both November and December together. Then you go to January. When you complete January, revise November, December, January. अब जितना रिवीजन करोगे उतना दिमाग में बैठेगा, ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं देना है गैप, क्योंकि बीच बीच में है ना. सो यू आर लाइक कंप्लीटली आउट ऑफ यूपीएससी. व्हेन यू आर इन द वर्क फील्ड, लाइक यू आर कंप्लीटली आउट ऑफ यूपीएससी, यू विल कम बैक, यू विल गो, यू विल कम बैक, यू विल गो, यू विल कम बैक. यू गिव मोर टाइम, वो दिमाग से भी हट जाएगा. रिविजन हैज टू बी कंसिस्टेंट फॉर यू. जितना रिवाइज करोगे उतना अच्छे से दिमाग में बैठेगा. So now I told you, so there are so many different sources, many audios, many videos. Okay, for example, so I'll give you one my personal tip. Okay, so this I used to do it in my optional. Okay, so I had done a thorough preparation of optional short notes भी बना दिया था. Okay, so and in between I started to work also, and I had a travel time. Okay, so walking time, walking तो book लिखते हुए तो नहीं पढ़ सकते हो ना, while walking you cannot do that. So in my leisure time I had recorded all the short notes. Short notes को ही record कर दिया था. So I put in the Bluetooth and walk. Okay, so daily 15 minutes going, 15 minutes coming, half an hour of just the revision part. Okay, so this was very, very effective. It provided much more clarity. Right? Videos. Let's say you're traveling in metro, you can just quickly go through the videos. Like इतने सारे YouTube videos available है. Short notes हो गया, ये summary हो गया, daily newspaper summary हो गया, okay, so current affairs summary हो गया, issue analysis हो गया. Take all the support. Okay, whatever is useful for you. It's not that you always have to rely on the textbook alone here. जहाँ से भी आपको useful लग रहा है तो use करो. Technology support, definitely it is going to be very much useful for you. Okay, so let's say you are sitting somewhere away from Delhi and you are taking the mentorship, you are taking the test series. Okay, so use the technology for your help. Okay, there's so much. I told you Sandhan initiative. Okay, so just use a portal, log in over there. So a personalized test is ready for you. Okay, so some tough concept you are not able to understand by reading book. Come to the internet. There's so many tools now. There's so many YouTube videos you will find, 3D animations you will find, or you just ask our ChatGPT, explain this from a context of a common man, give different commands, read it from different perspective, you'll get a better clarity. Explain with example, explain with practical example, like this. Use technology to your advantage. Now there's so many tools, AI tools, so many tools are coming up. Okay, so make use of all of this. You don't have to rely on the traditional way. End product, it should be helpful for you. It should save your time. It should save your energy. If anything is going to do that, just go for it.
Improve your speed and accuracy for the UPSC CSE Prelims 2025 with Sandhan. a value-added feature of the All India GS Prelims Test Series 2025. Revise and improvise essential topics and strengthen conceptual understanding with research-backed test series. Additionally, customize your tests from an array of 25,000 plus quality questions from different topics. Enhance your exam performance with features like collection of over 25,000 plus high-quality questions, personalized test creation, flexibility in question selection, dashboard access to track performance, personalized recommendation with tailored feedback. Available in Hindi and English medium, starting from 15th December.
Take support, take help. Don't be shy of asking help. If at all you have any peer group who are preparing, okay, so in your office or in any online group it is there, so be open to them. Okay, so ask what is the best source for this, what is the easier source for this, if not the best source. Okay, your particular concept, particular area you are finding it difficult, you ask them, ये और कहाँ से और अच्छे से पढ़ सकते हैं बताइए. Okay, or you have written some answer, ask them to check and evaluate. Okay, or if you and your friend, both of you are in the same level, same organization preparing, keep a check on each other. Okay, और एक chapter आप पढ़ के बताओ, मैं एक chapter पढ़ के बताऊंगा. It will save time. Okay, taking the help of peer group is going to be very, very useful. But be careful about this. There's so many groups without any kind of use. तो पूरा टाइम पास करते रहते हैं. इससे भी थोड़ा सा दूर रहना पड़ेगा आपको. तो एक दो लोग थोड़ा बहुत जो हॉनेस्टली पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं, जो सच में इसमें दम लगा के करना चाहते हैं, उनका हेल्प लो. Okay, so you can take help of this mentors, guidance. In our time, all of this was totally not there. Okay, जो मेंस दे रहे हैं, प्रीलिम्स दे रहे हैं, उनके लिए जो प्रॉपरली एक गाइड जैसे साथ में रहे, ऐसे वाला सर्विस है ही नहीं था हमारे टाइम में. Now there's so many such services. Okay, one who can like be there at regular intervals, keep a check on you. Okay, so any kind of, let's say you are taking a test series program. Okay, so answer rating program. All of these are going to be very much helpful. जो आपके टाइम के हिसाब से, जो आपके रिक्वायरमेंट के हिसाब से असेस करके आपको देखना पड़ेगा. हाउ मच इज रिक्वायर्ड. जस्ट फॉर द नेम सेक डोंट गो. अगर नेम सेक के लिए हाँ मैं भी एक मेंटरशिप ले लिया, मैं भी एक टेस्ट सीरीज ले लिया, नहीं. इफ यू आर टेकिंग इट, लेट्स से यू हैव डन योर बेसिक प्रिपरेशन, पूरा जो सब्जेक्ट तैयारी हो गया, अभी प्रीलिम्स का टाइम आ गया, प्रीलिम्स में तैयारी करना है. द बेस्ट वे इज गो विथ एनी ऑफ द प्रीलिम्स टेस्ट सीरीज. Let's say already your basic preparation is done. Okay, from January to May, 5 months of time is there. Go with any of the prelim test series which matches your requirement. Okay, so उस test series के हिसाब से schedule बना दो. 10 दिन में एक test है, 10 दिन में इतना करना है, जाकर test देना है. Next 10 days you are going to read this next, and then you are going to give test like this. Your entire preparation is going to be streamlined. It is going to be very much helpful. Family support is of course very much required here. In terms of financial thing, I don't think it would be a problem if you're a working professional. But other than that, so the overall the psychological support, it is required, yes. Because your time is going to be so much tight packed with everything. Okay, so you make them understand. It's not like ऐसे नहीं कि आप किसी को बताओगे नहीं, कि close family को तो बताना ही पड़ेगा. Okay, so because otherwise it becomes too difficult for you to manage everything. They are going to be helpful for you. Okay, so either whenever there is some kind of health issue, okay, so or if you have to so go back for some time to home and take their help, so be open. Okay, so talk to them on regular basis. That will also reduce the stress levels. And many of the times you may need the support from the office group also. Okay, so that you have to decide. You have to decide whether telling at the office is going to be helpful for you or not. कुछ जगह में ऐसे होता है कि if you tell openly that you are preparing for UPSC examination, so they may not like this. They may think that okay, anyway you are going to leave the organization, so you may not be the asset. Okay, so let's discourage. They may not give you leave. Be careful about that. But in many cases, a good organization will always support you. Because you may not be the part of the organization in the future, but you are always an asset. Okay, if you are supported. Okay, understand that. Okay, so and plan accordingly. Okay, थोड़ा बहुत जो भी सीनियर्स है, कलीग्स है, उन्हें थोड़ा बहुत अच्छा सा बना के रखो, टाइम पे काम आएगा, है ना? तो एग्जाम में टाइम में थोड़ा बहुत लीव लेना है, छुट्टी लेना है ना? तो ये ज़रूरी है. Anything which is going to help you to move towards the direction of UPSC, it is justified. Beg, borrow and steal. ठीक है? एंड डेफिनेटली ऐसा नहीं कि आप इनजस्टिस करोगे. ऑफिस के टाइम में जाके वहाँ पर सारा काम तो वो मतलब नहीं करते हुए यूपीएससी का तैयारी करोगे, ये भी सस्टेनेबल नहीं है. ओके, सो दैट इज ऑल्सो नॉट सस्टेनेबल. वहाँ पर चोरी चोरी चुपके चुपके तो नहीं खेल सकते हो आप, है ना? सो एक हॉनेस्ट अटेम्प्ट होना चाहिए. ठीक है, काम के लिए भी करोगे बिकॉज दैट इज सपोर्टिंग यू फाइनेंशियली, इट इज सपोर्टिंग यू, इट इज गिविंग यू ए बैकअप. ओके, एट द सेम टाइम लाइक बी ओपन. हाँ ठीक है, मैंने मेरा काम कर दिया, नाउ इट्स माई टाइम, तो मुझे पढ़ाई करना है. ठीक है. Having a good work backup is a strength for you. Okay, so in spite of all of this, if things are not going to work, okay, so you're definitely going to work there, continue there, or do something else. This is not something like so just for financial support, right? To respect that, वो respect होना चाहिए. If you respect that, definitely they will respect you. And take breaks in between. This is going to be a very tight schedule. Okay, so work, office, study, then come, then again take rest, again work, again study. Okay, so if you mix everything up, you will not get enough break, you will not get enough, rest time. You will not be able to do this sustainably for longer duration. Take short breaks. Okay, so in that, if you can do something related to your physical activity or yoga, meditation, anything which you like it, your mental and physical health will also be better. Is that right? Your mental and physical health is also going to be better in this. Because without this rest, without the relief, you cannot perform this consistently over a period of year. There is a work hour, there is a study hour, okay, there is some leisure should be there on regular basis. वो भी चाहिए. Of course, we are not machines at the end of the day. We are all human beings. If you are going to do this, हाँ ये भी ब्रेक भी बहुत लंबा भी नहीं हो सकता है. Okay, बाकी लोगों के पास में ये वो लीजर है, आपके पास नहीं है. Short break. Okay, so feel fresh and come back. And best आपका study time है ना, so usually आपका study time होना चाहिए, so if, in my opinion, before your work. That is always fresh. मान लो आपका 10 बजे ऑफिस है, सुबह कोशिश करो 4 बजे उठने के लिए. ओके, सो 5 घंटे का तैयारी वहीं पे हो जाएगा, फिर जाके काम करके आओ, फिर शाम में थोड़ा सा फ्री टाइम में पढ़ो, न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ो, टेस्ट वेस्ट लगाना है तो लगाओ. Okay, so make that routine regular intervals. If you are going to do that, it's not that difficult to get up at 4. And most importantly, this is a journey which is going to teach you many things. End of the day, whether you are going to achieve this or not, you will always be a better person. In terms of, so the knowledge, in terms of the exposure, in terms of understanding the real world, you're always a better person. In my honest opinion, everyone should prepare for UPSC once. 1-2 साल तो इसमें लगा देना चाहिए कॉलेज के बाद में. एक्चुअल आपको दुनिया समझ आएगा. Okay, so there is no loss at all. ठीक है? So enjoy this process. The journey is also as important as the destination. You are going to be, definitely in this process, you are going to be a better person. Don't make it something like as a punishment, as a torture. It is not at all going to be helpful. It is not at all going to give any result, I am telling you. भाई गलती से भी अगर क्लियर भी हो गया ऐसे करते हैं, आगे जाके भी आप एंजॉय नहीं कर पाओगे. एंजॉय दिस प्रोसेस. ठीक है? द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग फॉर ऑल ऑफ दिस इज टाइम. Okay, so respect time, time will respect you. Okay. Any questions? state PCS, one who gets selected in state service. Yes, same strategy. In fact, it is going to be very easy. Those who got selected in state PCS, okay, so and who wants to prepare for UPSC, please continue. Okay, so don't think if you join there you may lose focus here. Okay, don't do that. Being in a state PCS service, state service is advantageous for you in your interview. You're already part of the government. You know how the government works. You're better equipped to deal with that. You have greater chance of scoring well in interview. Okay, so having said this, one more thing. Okay, so if at all possible, so throughout the year you are planning for this according to the work and all, तो कोशिश करो कि एग्जाम के 1 महीने के पहले थोड़ा सा छुट्टी ले लो, छुट्टी बचा के रखो. Okay, so you manage your leave accordingly that before the exam you take leave. 1 month before prelims, 1 month before mains. अगर इतना मिल गया तो बहुत बढ़िया रहेगा. If not, maximum जितना भी हो सके, 20 दिन, 25 दिन, 15 दिन, जितना भी हो सके, whatever is feasible, so that you can give the best shot during that time. Okay, so in state PCS you have that option. Okay, so you join there, so you make you perform your job well, you make a good condition over there, so definitely they will support you. Okay, so in that case seniors are going to be very much helpful. Okay, so hold them in good condition. ठीक है? Anything else? So I wish you all the best.